Monty's program for corn begins with an application of Monty's liquid carbon or nanobind at a rate of 64 ounces per acre applied directly to the soil anytime between harvest and planting. This treatment can be combined with most burn down or pre-plant chemical applications. At planting, apply 24 to 32 ounces of Monty's 4-15-12 plus 32 to 64 ounces per acre of Monty's liquid carbon in the row on the seed as a pop-up program. If you cannot apply at planting, Monty's pop-up program can be tank mixed with most burn down or pre-plant chemical applications. In season, Monty's offers products formulated for specific needs during each growth stage. Begin between V3 and V5 with 16 to 24 ounces per acre of Monty's 8-16-8 added to your chemical pass. Then at V6 to V8, apply 16 to 24 ounces of Monty's 8-16-8. If you're heading into the field for another chemical pass, this could also be tank mixed with most applications. As the crop nears tasseling or the reproductive stage, apply 24 ounces per acre of Monty's 2-15-15. Remember, anytime your crop is under stress from weather, insects, disease, fungus, or nutrient deficiency, we recommend an additional pass of 16 to 32 ounces per acre of Monty's 8-16-8 to provide the nutrients your plants needs to help it successfully deal with these added stresses. Farmers have seen additional benefits by adding 8 to 16 ounces per acre of Monty's liquid carbon or Calcium Plus at any growth stage as part of a tank mix with most herbicide, insecticide, fungicide, or even mid-season side dress applications. Now that you know how to apply Monty's on corn, let's check in with Monty's reps from across the country with a few more ideas on how you can implement the Monty's program on your farm.
Monty's soil conditioner products can work regardless of whether you're no-till, low-till, or full-till like this gentleman. As you're prepping that soil, getting it ready for planting, some of the advantages are helping with water filtration as well as moisture retention in sandier soils.
We're out here today looking at this corn crop that is just coming up. We're at about V1 growth stage at this moment. We used a pop-up program underneath this corn. And the pop-up program is for several reasons, but the most important is to get that seedling to germinate as fast as it can, come out of the soil with as much vigor as it can. As you can see, here's your seed. This seed has food in it that has germinated this corn plant. It probably has just about depleted the food in it right now. So that's another reason a pop-up program is very important, because you're going to get lots of extra root growth, you're going to get lots of extra root hairs, and it is the root hairs that is pulling in the nutrients and the water, and there's no stresses there on it that it lacks for food or it's waiting for fertilizer to be broke down into plant food to take up into its system. And all of these play a role in developing the yield for the end of the season.
Here we are out in the field. We basically have corn that's in the V3 stage. You're going to be coming through with your herbicide pass. Basically put your 8-16-8 in. That's basically going to cause the plant to start greening up. It'll start stimulating that root development so that you start the process in the soil. We're going to get some dry days now. We're going to get some warm weather. Corn really thrives in that. But if you don't have the right color on this leaf, when that sun really starts coming out, it's going to limit the photosynthesis, and that's going to basically result in a lower yield. Maybe put down the 8-16-8, give it that boost of nitrogen in order to be able to get the best growth that you can to maintain starting into the hot weather.
Right now we're looking at a cornfield right outside of Kenton, Tennessee, and what we're seeing in this cornfield is not only are the blades of this corn really thin and really curled, but they're having a lot of issues with drought right now. What you're starting to see is all the moisture in this leaves is starting to disappear, and when that happens, this is going to curl and they're going to start doing what we call burn up, and they're starting to get really hot, and they're basically just going to start getting spots on them like what we're seeing right through here. This plant's going to really overheat. Whenever you take and you see this problem, you can come in and you can spray the 8-16-8 over the top, and it's going to really help with relieving this plant from stress like you're seeing it in right now. It's going to help thicken those leaves back up, and it's going to help you as far as getting back on track and reserving your yield potential. The yield that this crop has already lost right here, they're not going to gain back, but hopefully with the Monty's 8-16-8 program, they'd be able to keep from losing all of what they could lose in the future.
Guys, with putting that 28005 or 32% out, most farmers will accept some burn, such as what you can see here, as just a part of doing business. Here at Monty's, with putting our carbon in there, we're trying to reduce that burn as much as possible and reducing that stress, because guys, that's maintaining yield. Anytime you stress the plant with something like that burn right there, you're losing some yield. All right, if we can maintain that yield and lower that burn and come out and put 2-15-15 or something like that proactively instead of reactively, we're maintaining more of that yield. The moment you put that seed into the ground, the time and environment is counting against you. Your yield starts bumping down. If we can go out there and minimize the stress level we put on these plants and minimize the stress levels put on by environment or weather, we're coming out a lot farther ahead, and that's why at Monty's we're really big on this.
Here in southeastern Missouri, this corn is a little bit late. By now it should be tasseling. We're going to want to use Monty's 2-15-15. If he has the equipment, he'll either fly it on or use a high boy. This will help the crop recover from a little bit of the stress that it's seen earlier in the spring and in early summer.
Now you've got yellowing going on at this field on to the left. We have had a lot of rain here, so a lot of these fields are showing yellowing, different coloration. I think a lot of that factor is the fact we've had so much rain that, for one thing, a lot of the nitrates that we put on early, a lot of the ammonia, a lot of the urea, it has actually gone because we've had so much rain. And in my opinion, that's what a lot of that field is showing in places, is probably is lacking nitrogen. It's gotten so big now that the only way that the farmer could possibly go in and maybe help that issue would be to go in and put some liquid nitrogen down in the row. Of course, you're going to have something pretty good size to get in there, because that looks like it's pretty good sized corn. Now, like I say, to the extreme that field is, we may not bring it completely back to a really good green stage, just by the aspect that the corn has to have so much nitrogen to grow. If we made an application with our Monty's, you would definitely see a difference in that field, in my opinion, in about a week's time. My philosophy on my growers when I'm talking to them is, if you make a pass over the field with an insecticide, a herbicide, fungicide, whatever, you're making a pass over the field, why not incorporate a pint to a pint and a half of our product in? By you feeding it when you're going through those fields, you're just helping keeping that plant healthy. It's kind of like giving it an immune shot, if you might say. You're just helping that plant to stay healthy, productive, and doing what it's supposed to do for us.
For additional information, to answer specific questions about irrigation or particular crop recommendations, or to find a dealer in your area, visit www.montysplantfood.com or call 1-800-978-6342. If you're already using Monty's products, thank you, and we look forward to hearing your success stories. If not, we ask you to try it on a section of your farm this season, so that you too can join the growing number of farmers who harvest results with Monty's.